Hello, everyone. Today we will be learning about functions within the context of basic algebra. In our previous lesson, you used equations relating two variables, like y equals 2x plus 4, to make graphs and find information. During this lesson, you will look more closely at how equations that relate two variables help establish function between the variables. You will also learn a new notation to help represent these functions. Now, I want you to think of function as meaning the same as process. The process is what happens, or the steps that take place. It is not the starting point, nor is it the ending point. The starting point can also be described as inputs. The process or function is what happens to each input. The ending point can also be described as outputs. After the process or function has taken place to any given input, you are left with the output. It's important to note that each input only has one output. A function works like a machine. As an example, think of it as a vending machine. All the buttons on the vending machine are what we are referring to as the inputs. When you press a button, the vending machine goes through its process, and out comes your drink or snack. That drink or snack represents the output. If you press the button for the blast drink, the soda machine should always give you an output for the blast drink. Let's take a look at another example. A common way to view inputs and outputs is in list form on what is called a function table. Notice that there is an input column and an output column. Each function table has a function or process, pattern, procedure, or rule. If we do not know the function, we can sometimes determine what it is based on the patterns we observe. In this case, the rule is to take the first letter of a name. Think about if our next input were to be Triton. Can you predict what the output will be? The output of t works for this function. In math, we typically see functions in equation form. Let's revisit our equation from earlier, y equals 2x plus 4. In this case, x is our input, y is our output, and the equation is our function. Before we try some inputs, let's introduce a new notation. Notice we have our equation in our function machine. Well, a function can be given a name that can be a letter such as f or g. The notation f of x, or function of x, represents the output when x is processed by the machine. In this notation, f of x replaces y, so y equals 2x plus 4 and f of x equals 2x plus 4 are equivalent ways to write the same function. When x is put into the machine, f of x comes out.
Created using Powtoon.